new research today suggesting that global efforts to stop foreign fighters joining armed groups in Iraq and Syria are failing. Figures collated by an intelligence consultancy show that despite bombing campaigns against ISIL and other groups, the number of foreigners joining them in the region has more than doubled since June of last year. Now, here's a rough breakdown of the figures for you. The Sufan group says as many as 31,000 foreigners have joined groups in Iraq and Syria. Its last report on Syria, June 2014, recorded only 12,000 fighters. That was before efforts to contain and wipe out ISIL had even begun. Fighters have come from everywhere. Half of them, though, have travelled from the Middle East and North Africa, exploiting a weak security situation to move freely across the region. By far the biggest group, well, we're talking now about Tunisians. 6,000 of them have been recruited. 5,000 fighters have come from Western Europe, and thousands more have come from the former Soviet republics. Up to a third of foreign fighters return to Western countries, creating major challenges for the security agencies. Martin Reardon is the Senior Vice President of the Sufan Group, which came up with this report out today. Martin, just break the figures down for us, and in your mind, how significant is this?
Well, I think the biggest difference we've seen in the last 18 months the report came out is in Europe. Those numbers have doubled from approximately 2,500 on up to 4,000. Russia also has seen a significant increase, about 300%, from about 700 fighters on up to 2,400 fighters. And then North America has pretty much remained stable in the last 18 months, but significant increase. I think that the key point here is that despite the efforts, the best efforts of security in Europe and North America and the Middle East to contain the flow of foreign fighters, it has gone up significantly.
Are they going to work or fight for exclusively ISIL, or are they being magnetized towards other groups as well?
ISIL continues to get the bulk of the foreign fighters, but they do go to all. Jabhat al-Nusra, with approximately 6,000 total fighters, they say that they have about 30% that are foreign fighters. So they go to all the approximately 100 different groups there, but ISIL does get the vast majority of these foreign fighters.
This must be something, obviously, that Washington, London, Paris, and crucially the Kremlin are aware of already. But if you're Mr. Putin in the Kremlin, you know, historically he's had such a big problem with people from the Caucasus. Would he use that to justify his continued involvement in what's going on in the skies and indeed on the ground in Syria?
Well, he will, and in fact he has said as much, that one of the reasons that they are there, besides supporting the Assad regime, is to confront the foreign fighters from Russia, primarily the Caucasus, there in Syria, so that they don't have to fight them in Russia.
Those people that are attracted to doing this, do they bring something quite unique to the table? Because I'm thinking here that, say, the fight in the Caucasus probably has gone as far as it's ever going to go. However, they've got a skill set that ISIL and the like need on the ground in Syria.
Well, they do, and I think when you look at the North Africa region and the Caucasus, that's where you're getting your most experienced fighters, that already experienced fighters that are flowing into Syria. In Western Europe, not so much. In North America, not so much. But the Caucasus and North Africa, they were experienced fighters, some of them going all the way back to the 1980s in Afghanistan, fighting the Soviets.
How many of them want to come home? Because one remembers about, 18 months, 2 years ago or so, there were words coming out on social media, particularly in the UK and France, we want to come back, we got it wrong. And that was a massive headache for the security services in London, in Paris, and places like that. But these people, are they refreshed and reinvigorated in their desire to join the campaign?
As far as you mean going from Iraq and Syria back to their home countries?
Yes.
Yes, there's about 20 to 30% is the estimate of the foreign fighters. And this report, this covers since 2011. It's not the ones who are there right now, but about 20 or 30% have returned home. That's a significant problem for security. One, identifying who they are, and then two, where are they and what are they doing?
Martin Reardon, thank you very much.